Good morning. Welcome back into Wake Up America. I'm Rob Finnerty. 7 states holding primaries yesterday: California, Iowa, Mississippi, Montana, New Jersey, New Mexico, and South Dakota, with the economy and, of course, gas prices weighing heavily on voters' minds across the country. For more on the biggest races and what this could mean heading into November, let's welcome in RNC National Spokesman and Director of Black Media Affairs, Dennard, back with us. Paris, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning to you.
So big day yesterday, and this really continues until the end of August. Every Tuesday, it looks like we've got primaries happening across the country. 7 states holding primaries yesterday. What stood out to you the most this morning?
Well, the biggest thing is you look at California. I mean, the state, overwhelmingly, the voters rejected and tossed out the DA there. I mean, look, at the end of the day, there are 2 big things that are top of mind for voters. And it deals with security, both economic security and physical security. And in places like California, when you have liberal, progressive elected officials in there trying to implement, and in many cases implementing policies that the voters just said just do not work, they're being rejected. And that is very telling for not just California, but nationwide. Progressives, their agendas in these states, you cannot think that the voters are looking at this and are pleased, because the uptick in crime, the tremendous uptick in gas prices and inflation is not playing well with the electorate.
Yeah, it seemed like this Chesa Boudin, again, 41-year-old, George Soros funded, extremely progressive district attorney there. It seems like the progressive hold on the Democratic Party is not as strong this morning as it might have been yesterday. Does that put the rest of the party on notice heading into November that this can happen in a city like San Francisco, where there are very few, if any, elected Republicans running that city right now?
There's no doubt that you're not celebrating if you're at the DNC this morning, because what it's telling the DNC, what it's telling Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer is that the days of this progressive, liberal, extreme Democrat Party having just so much advantage in the electorate are numbered. The people are rejecting it. And here's the important point. It's not just Republicans. Everyone is being impacted by the high crime. Everybody is being impacted by this high inflation, high gas prices. And so in many instances, you have Democrats who are looking at the current Democrat Party and saying, I don't recognize it. Your values are no longer my values. You all are way past the extreme elements that I can even tolerate. And so you have Democrats saying enough is enough. And so the Democrat Party is not the same Democrat Party, and they're going to be in for a rude awakening come November. And they're already seeing it.
Absolutely. And in these big cities, particularly Los Angeles, San Francisco, and then if you go to the Midwest, you look at cities like Chicago, St. Louis, and in the East, of course, Washington, Philadelphia, New York. It's crime and homelessness that are big problems to urban voters right now. But for rural voters, it's going to be gas prices and the cost to heat your home when the winter comes, and the cost of groceries. What can the Democrats do, if anything, if the Biden administration doesn't do anything, to try and stop this what looks like an inevitable red wave?
Yeah, the only thing that Democrats can do right now is to switch course, is to change policy, and to actually go back to what we saw under the Trump administration when he was working with congressional Republicans to get things done for the American people and putting the American people first. I highly doubt that the Democrats have the will and the heart to actually change course, because to do that, to change policy means to acknowledge that Republicans were right. To change policy for Democrats will be to acknowledge that the things that happened under the Trump administration were effective, were helping the American people, were empowering the American people, policies that worked. They're not willing to do that because they're beholden to the extreme radical progressive left that is running that party and dictating what happens from a policy standpoint, from Joe Biden to the House and the Senate. And so unfortunately, who suffers from that? The people, because Democrats refuse to actually do and implement sound conservative policies that work and stick on liberal progressive policies that are not working and won't work.
Good point. Paris Dennard, appreciate the insight. Good to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.